The legendary actor Marlon Brando has been producing some of the biggest hits of the 20th century. Not only has he left us glued to the screens for over 50 years, but he has also surprised us with his charming looks. Brando was born in Nebraska in the year of 1924. Interestingly enough, his career in acting wasn't all that great. He had more downs than ups. It had always been a challenge to maintain fame in the film industry. This was a problem Brando needed to go through also. However, after his appearance in The Godfather, he became a global success and would have fans wanting more of him on screen. This is where he became high in demand. How did Brando rise to fame? Before all the fame, Brando was just an ordinary boy that was struggling to find his passion in life. When he was young, he got an expulsion from the military academy he was attending and struggled to pay for his education. Luckily, his father decided to pay his education for him. This led Brando to fly off to New York to study at the Lee Strasberg's Actors Studio with acting coach Stella Adler. This is where he would get prepared for his long and successful career. Later in life, Brando credited Stella for not only teaching him everything that he had to do with the ethics of acting, but even inspiring him to become something big in life. It was Stella who would open Brando's first doors by getting him to perform in theaters. During his time at the acting academy, Brando learned the importance of method approach, which highlights one's motives for their actions. This would help him a lot in climbing the challenging stairs of his acting career. In 1944, he made his Broadway debut called I Remember Mama by John Van Druten. Brando immediately caught the attention of theater critics, claiming that Brando was Broadway's most promising actor, after he performed in the 1946 show called Truckline Calf. 1 year later, Brando would end up playing one of the most memorable stage roles in a show called A Streetcar Named Desire, when he played a Stanley Kowalski, a man who rapes his sister-in-law. Brando's first appearance in the big screens. The talented actor's excellent performances led him to be wanted from Hollywood, and in 1950, he ended up releasing his first film debut called The Men, where he played a paraplegic veteran during World War II. Surprisingly, he didn't cooperate with the publicity machine of Hollywood, but continued to make the film version of the show called A Streetcar Named Desire in 1951. The film was such a success, it would earn Brando 4 Academy Awards in the passing years. Brando's next hit was called Viva Zapata, a movie scripted by John Steinbeck, which talks about the life of Emiliano Zapata and his journey from a peasant to a revolutionary. The successful film was followed by 2 others, Julius Caesar and The Wild One. In the last film, Brando is mostly remembered for his glorious bad boy role as a motorcycle gang leader wearing his famous leather jacket. His next success was on The Waterfront, where he acted a longshoreman fighting the system. Brando spent the rest of the 50s participating in large roles in films such as Desiree, where he played Napoleon Bonaparte, in Guys and Dolls, and in the 1958 film called The Young Lions, where he acted as a Nazi soldier. His excellence in acting got Brando voted as one of the best box office draws in the nation. He got rejected for a decade after releasing Mutiny on the Bounty. When the 60s came, everything started going downhill for the successful actor. In 1962, Brando appeared in the remake movie called Mutiny on the Bounty, which was budgeted by MGM Studios. The movie flopped badly and failed to make a profit, even though its budget was enormous. In the movie, Brando played Fletcher Christian, which was primarily Clark Gable's role, with the original movie was first released in 1935. Here, Brando started getting too confident in his skills and would usually create problems during the set. He often tried to change the script based on how he thought it was better and threw many tantrums. Other than that, Brando started losing interest in his health and image and would eat large amounts of food as well as have many affairs throughout the whole movie. He would also refuse to communicate and work things out with the crew and cast, and usually stayed distant from them. All this led the movie to fail, but Brando still got his part of the money he was promised, which was around $1.2 million. After gaining such a bad reputation for his actions, Brando's career stopped. Studios weren't hiring him to appear in films, and this would lead him to get many rejections during the next 10 years. His fame rose again after appearing in The Godfather. His career was reborn again when he was hired to act in the famous 1972 movie called The Godfather as Mafia chieftain Don Corleone. This role would later give him an Academy Award for Best Actor. Brando was also nominated for an Oscar, but turned it down as a sign of protest of how cruel Hollywood was treating actors of other races, especially Native Americans. On the day of the award show, Brando decided to not show up. Instead, represent himself with a Native American actor called Sachin Littlefeather to decline the award for him. After releasing the hit movie, Brando then got many acting opportunities, and was even paid large amounts for his small roles in films, including Superman and Apocalypse Now. He later won another Academy Award with the title of Best Supporting Actor for his great acting skills in the 1989 movie called A Dry White Season. What was the famous actor like behind screens? Regarding his personal life, Brando had always been talked about how he loved food and women too much. He also loved acting in roles roles that required him to show suffering and rage. All these traits the actor had were mostly due to his cold upbringing by alcoholic parents that would show him little to no love and affection. Brando didn't like talking about his marriages or children as much, and although he has claimed in his autobiography that he had divorced 3 times and had a total of 11 children. An interesting fact that many of his children aren't from his marriages. Only 5 children are from the 3 ex-wives, 3 children are from his housekeeper, and 3 other children are from having affairs. One of Brando's sons even told People magazine that siblings would usually not recognize each other, and just a few of them would keep in contact. Brando's children were not as happy as you might think. The most notorious ones were Christian Brando, who was sentenced to 10 years in prison for murder, and Cheyenne Brando, which spent most of her life in mental hospitals and had a severe drug addiction. Brando would later die due to health problems in 2004, at the age of 80, in a hospital located in LA. His self-indulgence was highly visible at the public throughout his whole career as an actor. Do you think Brando was too busy with his image and repeated the same mistake of his parents in raising happy and stable children? Tell us what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe for other interesting topics like this to appear on your feed. As always, thanks for watching.